Wealth Without Wall Street Tribe, you're in for a treat to hear again our friend Neil Twa, the Amazon expert, trainer extraordinaire. Neil, so glad to have you on the show again, my friend.
Thanks for having me back, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, it's exciting because we're getting ready to have you here in Birmingham with us. We're going to be sharing the Voltage experience for those who have been kind of listening to some of the podcasts, not only that you've done, but also some of the students that have gone on and listened to the podcast and then gone through your training, like Bryce Shields and Neil and Daniel Espy. And there's 5 or 6 others that you've mentioned that we haven't interviewed yet. I would love to just kind of help the person who hasn't had a chance to go through this, see what it's like, not only from the front end, but also kind of peering behind the scenes, if you will, pulling back the curtain and looking at what made some of those people successful. Yeah. But on a high level, can I just start off with what is it that your company does and how does it help people?
Yeah. So in simple terms, we launch, grow, and scale what are profitable e-commerce companies, and we focus on Amazon FBA's channel for first market channel with those businesses. And our goal is the exit of that company within 24 to 36 months. So we build for exit.
And okay. FBA is a term that most people don't understand, right?
Sure. We're going to throw it all out here and then we'll get it all clarified. So FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. It's actually a company they purchased somewhere around 2008 and 2009, if memory serves me correctly. For the specific ability to get packages, what's called last mile to the customer. That's to the doorstep. So they created an amazing infrastructure and have literally developed more than $15 billion into that infrastructure. Now they have their own ships and airplanes to get those products. And so we leverage that. Okay. It's a huge leverage. So we don't need employees in warehouses full of product. Amazon does that for us, and FBA, or fulfilled by Amazon, allows that to happen. So I don't have to sit in a warehouse and have employees shipping products for me.
So that's the main reason that's your focus.
One of the main reasons, absolutely.
Yeah, there's other ways you could have set it up, but this is the most lean, mean way to build a business.
Yeah, a lot of other infrastructure costs would have been on us, for the employee, the warehouse, the leasing, and the management of that, and the product and logistics part that we now let Amazon manage for us. We have third-party agencies that are 3PLs, as they're referred to, third-party logistics companies, that are doing that as well for other businesses, E-Comm, et cetera. And we leverage them to bring product to Amazon too. That way we can keep a product lifecycle moving on scale.
Clearly, we've just gone through a change in the way that people have purchased over the last couple of years. I mean, my wife was always buying Amazon. She's 10X that model now because a lot of companies, I think the local retail store is just gone. And, there's people out there that get really mad. And they're like, Jeff Bezos, he's the devil. I don't want to do business with him. And I'm like,
it's the devil, sometimes, right?
Well, am I right in saying this? Because this was my response the other day is if you don't buy from Amazon, you're not buying from the local person. Because Amazon, I know that they create their own products, but what percentage of Amazon items are not being created by the local entity, just being shipped through them?
So more than 90% of the products sold on Amazon.com are third-party sellers. It makes up about 2.7 million sellers. Amazon itself has actually been shutting down its brands due to thoughts of maybe antitrust. It's not really been thrown out there, but some of that possibility is there, as well as sellers just complaining that Amazon has inside information and can unfairly compete, which is antitrust. But the end result is they've done it so poorly that they're one of the worst brands on Amazon. Amazon Basics is one of the worst rated brands. So they don't know how to manage their own brands on their own platform. And so they started to shut them down. And instead, they've just gone out and bought some brands that already manage themselves correctly. One of those was iRoomba or iRobot, one of the vacuum cleaning tools that they purchased. I believe it was Robot or Roomba. It doesn't matter. They purchased their own brand. But at the end of the day, we compete with them. We can compete with big brands, and we can compete with the rest of the regular sellers. So while it's a corporate entity and it has that sort of anti-corporate feel to it, because it's the big evil empire, the majority of the .com is third-party people that I can compete with. And I can even compete with big brands head-to-head.
Well, I love your strategy, and I love hearing the stories of people who have been successful using it. For those that are hearing this and are like, man, okay, I get it. Amazon is the behemoth that everybody would want to sell their products on.
Yeah.
but there's the very first thing in my mind. How do I figure out a product? Like, I mean, there's maybe somebody that's sitting there and they're like, you know what? I got this amazing idea and I would love to get it on Amazon, and they're just fired up.
Sure.
But for the 99 other people behind them who are like, what could I sell?
Yeah.
How does your process help that person?
So we have a saying in our company, it's what the hell do I sell? Because back in the day when I got one of my first coaching clients, like 8 years ago, I sat down with this guy and I explained, okay, here's how we look at products. Here's how we do research. Here's how we can identify products and how we can help you learn to do what we call train your brain to identify product and product opportunities that are literally everywhere sitting around us right now, even in your current home or car or wherever you're listening to this from. And we get to the end of this conversation and he just goes blank stare and he just says, but dude, what the hell do I sell? And I realized we hadn't quite locked this in just yet, right? So the idea, again, is to train your brain, is to look at your environment and realize that literally in simple terms, if you could look at your Amazon history, your buying history, and if it's your wife or significant other buying, click, 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 click on their mobile devices, the last 90 days, you're going to look at the products and you're going to realize that more than 70% of those products you purchased came from third-party sellers. So in that moment, what you need to train your brain on is the realization, first and foremost, that I can sell products just like that. Other people are doing it. Why not me? So in that environment, if you look and see the kind of products you've purchased, you can identify product types that are selling profitably. First level analysis. Are they selling on Amazon? Are they being sold by a third party? Well, they're going to have to sell those profitably. Their definition of profit and my definition of profit will determine whether or not I think the model is good or whether they think it's okay. I don't think $1 in profit per unit is good. I think a minimum of $12 in net profit, okay, what I actually put in my pocket after one unit is sold and after all of Amazon's fees and stuff are taken care of, that I'm actually putting that minimum in my pocket. That way I can, pay my kids and pay my house and pay for things in life that I need to do.
Can I ask you real quick?
Sure.
Stop you midstream there. You came up with that formula somehow, some way. Tell me, where did the $12 per unit come from?
It came from trial and error, launching our own brands. We started with arbitration, buy low, sell high, see what we could do in the 2011 period. But 2012, we started into brands. And as we started launching products into brand, we discovered a couple of things about the ecosystem that Amazon has. It has organic traffic, which we would refer to as just traffic from searches that are coming through that end up in your listing and buy your product. But there's also pay-per-click or marketing campaigns inside of Amazon you can use too. So when we discovered that the campaigns themselves in Amazon actually can rank your product organically, which there's nowhere else in any search engine that you can do this, we discovered that we needed more profit per unit to compete higher and buy more customers away from our competitors. And because of that, we kept raising the profit bar to a level to determine where's the minimum amount of competition for most of the product types that we want to launch on Amazon. What is that low bar and where do we want to keep that at? And of course, we want to increase that, or we want it to be higher, but where's that bottom line, right? Where does it exist to compete and buy traffic and sales away from the competition?
This podcast is amazing, almost too amazing, Russ. There's too many ideas and I don't know where to get started creating passive income.
Well, here's the thing, Joey. I think one of the things you need to consider in that statement is, what is it costing you to not know? What is it costing you not to take action? I love the statement that says you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great.
If you're struggling on where to start, you have to know what type of investor you are. Know your investor DNA. And if you want to learn more about this, you can join us in our Passport Challenge at wealth.wallstreet.com/passport. Get started today.
All right. So can I break this down for Joey, who, thankfully he knows probably more about this than me, but I'm just going to pretend it's Joey, right? It's probably me, and he's going to probably correct me on that. I said it wrong. But what you're saying is if I can get $12 of net profit for every unit, then I have a handful of dollars that I can use to go market, to buy myself up the list, to when somebody types in, yellow teddy bear or,
purple unicorn.
Yeah. Four person camping tent, or name the product, right, that they're searching for. Yeah. I've spent money to get myself up that list. And if I can make myself profitable, ultimately, I can be one of the top 2 or 3 people that they're seeing constantly, which means I'm going to sell more product.
Yeah, you're going to sell more units. So it starts by buying the customers to validate the product. And there's this pendulum swing, okay, that occurs. It starts with my ads, product launch, making sure I have profitability to buy away those customers from my competition. And then organic ranking is going to come up. At some point, it's going to be 60% organic and then 40% PPC. And there's a swing in the side of Amazon system that occurs. Now, without getting too technical, basically what that means is we've taken over some market share. And once we've taken over some market share organically with PPC traffic, that's where the fun begins. So with Daniel in a highly competitive market that he's in, he has nearly $40 in profit per unit on each average unit sold in his business. For that, he has now been able to go out and acquire a lot more customer and market share, which has created significant scale for his brand. So following one of the fundamental pillars, there's 4 of them, of the model, profitability being first, which is what we're touching on right now. The second one being growth, as I find profitability and I get my organic sales up and I see that I'm being successful with this product. And it's initially a test product, which I want you to understand. We do micro testing and investing first, okay? And then when to determine if it's growth capable, then it's a product that we can really fully private label brand, customize, grow, and scale, okay? Growth being the second, scale being the third. Growth is not scale, just so we're very clear. Growth shows purchase intent. Scale shows I really hit the market and now I've got a wide open mass appeal to take this product and scale it both vertically, which means I'm going to give it to more people who are looking for the same products, or horizontally, which means I'm going to move into separate segments of that demographic and sell a similar product to different segments of the demographic. Okay. So an example with that scale or growth, because I can see smoke coming out of your ears, is the
glazed look. He's got the glazed look going.
Yeah, it's okay. We got it. It's simple concept. Like there's a bike seat. You can go down to Walmart and buy a cheap Chinese piece of plastic and stick it between your legs. For men, I would not advise that. There's a second product, okay, which is the nicer one with a little bit of shell cushioning, which is like, okay, maybe I'll ride that. I'm a dad. I got my, sweater on and I'm going to go out with the kids around the block and ride a nice little thing. And I'm not, bumping on a piece of plastic. And then there's the Urban Outfitter Environment Pikes Peak Edition. All right, which is the $99 bike seat with the gel cushion, and it's got the removable covers, and it's got the hole in the middle so your crunch and munches don't get jumbled up while you're going down the hill and banging and banging. You now have 3 avatars of the same product, right? So the difference between growth and scale would be to take growth in a market and sell a particular product that shows upside potential and has profitability, major factors, but also has mass market appeal to take it out to demographics that were not part of the original product. So we look for products, and that's something Daniel has done and others have done to become successful, is to recognize market and product opportunities that have a solution. When the solution is there that solves a pain point and a problem, and that could be a pain point and a major problem, okay? Especially for those of you buying some down here who might want to have kids someday, I don't advise that. Then you want to grow that to scale, and that leads to the potentiality that you could exit something profitable. But it's all about the profit, and that's when we discovered, making sure we have high profitable products in demand. And I started setting up criteria for the kinds of products we would sell, the kinds of places we would take them in Amazon to start. I think it's important for those who are understanding this. We're not just Amazon FBA channel locked, as it's referred. It means those products that I just gave you that example of are products that I can take into mass market. I can send them to other channels. I can take them into retail. I could put them in wholesale. I can put them on infomercials. I can stick them in other marketplaces. I could put them on QVC. It has a mass market appeal for multiple channels. I just take people who are new into Amazon FBA first for one major problem solving at the end of this, and that is literally getting eyeballs on the offer. That is getting people to actually look at their products that purchase them.